I'm Beily. I work at Marmalades, and I came to Poland from Ukraine. So to prevent all your questions, let me answer. Yes, the situation in Ukraine is bad. Yes, Putin has invaded us. Yes, I hate him, but it's okay. So now we can start. We can start with our topic, which is cross-platform development, the only way to develop for mobile. So let's start with a single platform development approach and take a look at its advantages. They're great. The single platform development approach gives you the lowest cost possible. So of course you can increase the cost of your development significantly by buying expensive tools, by applying for super programs. But if you just start, this is the lowest cost possible, because you sometimes don't need to pay for anything. You get toolset from a pretty decent toolset from platform vendor. You sometimes might need to pay a small fee for being a certified developer, like for Apple, $100 US. But there's nothing comparatively to big tools if you want to do for cross-platform. The lowest cost possible, from zero to maybe, I don't know, to little money. Then it's straightforward. No one can object that. So you get a guideline. You often get a guideline from the platform vendor where you can find all the answers to your questions, how to develop for that particular platform. So you have good documentation for all frameworks that are used for that platform development. You get everything, how to create icon, please have it, how to fill up your manifest file. Of course, this is in documentation. The best practices, the best approaches, maybe, I don't know, everything you need, it's in that particular guides, and it's straightforward. So you read documentation, you just start to develop. And of course, when you target only one platform, it's always up to date. So you can be sure that all the frameworks that come from the platform vendor, they are up to date and they correspond to the latest OS version that is present on the devices. So of course, you will want to support all the devices, but you can always have an access to the latest features, to the latest frameworks and latest libraries. Another big advantage to develop a single platform is to be exclusive for that platform. That means that you probably will be chosen as exclusive partner. You have bigger chances to be chosen and to be featured at the store, and that means that more potential customers of your application or game will see you, will find your application and actually bring you their money. That's a big advantage. Of course, if you can have a deal about that with the platform vendor. And it has decent toolset, of course. So when you start, you almost always get an IDE for your development. It can be Xcode, or it can be Visual Studio Express if we talk about Windows, which is free. If we talk about Android, it will be Eclipse, no problem. You always have IDE, you have simulators, emulators, no problem with that too. You can always test your application on real device as well as on simulator, maybe do some profiling. So decent tool set, that's a big advantage. So single platform approach is very good, but what are the disadvantages of that approach? Oh, no disadvantages. Yeah, there is one disadvantage, and it's a single income source. So imagine you get literally nothing from other platforms, literally nothing. You don't get any extra money from selling on other platforms. You don't get any additional awareness amongst potential customers. So no people, the less application you sell, the less people know about your application and less people tell to their friends. So no income. Then you don't have additional traffic for your other applications. No, because you are not present on that platform. And once again, you don't have an extra money from other platforms. No, that's single platform means single income source. So, okay, and well, that is understood. People do realize that this is a single income, and if we talk about any platform, we sort of slicing a market in half or even more. Who wants that? No one. So we in Marmalade, we work on this market. We're doing cross-platform technologies for more than 15 years already. And it's all started with a small internal project. So we have a pretty decent portfolio. It's also from IdeaWorks 3D company, which created games for big publishers like Electronic Arts or Konami. And in our portfolio, there are such titles like Metal Gear Solid Mobile, The Sims 2, Need for Speed Unleashed, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Need for Speed Undercover, and other titles, pretty big titles like Lara Croft and others. So we, at some point, we came across a problem that we have to spend too much time on targeting other mobiles. Is there any of you who remembers such platforms as Brew? Do you know? Does anyone knows Brew? No? No dinosaurs in this hall, no. Okay, so we started with Brew, we started with Windows Mobile 3, 3.1, 3.5, 4, 5, and etc. It was Symbian, it was WebOS from Hewlett Packard. And the problem, it was quite tough. So we decided we have to have an internal tool. Internal tool of making cross-platform solutions easier. I'm sorry. Making cross-platform solution easier. So we created that internal tool. We called it AirPlay. We used to call it AirPlay till Apple came and say, hello guys, this is our trademark. Would you be so kind to give us? Because we own it for 10 years. We don't use it, but we own it. Okay, so it was AirPlay, and we released it publicly in 2009. Then in 2011, we rebranded to Marmalade. So it's quite old SDK, as you can see. So I assume we have that right to speak about cross-platform technologies. We're headquartered in London, and we have offices in London and in Ukraine. And the main idea behind our Marmalade SDK is that the more fragmentation on the market, the better for developers, because they can hear it and they don't afraid of anything. So the competitors will just suck. Okay, so let's go. Where we to? In Marmalade, we came to this rich network of this rich range of supported devices, including some bizarre platforms like Tizen, which has great potential because it's sponsored by Samsung, and they invest millions and billions into it, but it's now a bit delayed. So they released Tizen for wearables, like for smartwatches, and they plan to release tablets, but now they have contract with Google, so they can freely use Google Android on their devices, so it's a bit delayed. Then we support BlackBerry, we support iOS and Android. Who doesn't? Of course, we do support these platforms. Android includes Amazon, it includes Nook, it includes Samsung apps, and of course Google Play. iOS you can easily deploy to iPhones and iPads. Also, we support Windows 8, which contains platforms like Windows Phone 8 and Windows RT, including both architectures, x86 and ARM. So pretty decent range of devices supported, and smart TVs and etc. Yeah. And so what's Marmalade? So if we speak about making cross-platform approach the same simple and the same straightforward as a single platform approach, but without the big disadvantage, then we had to know what tools to use, and our tool is like just an open and flexible abstraction layer. So it just makes it closer for developer to work on a single for a single platform or for multiple platform. You code once, you write your code once, and you deploy it to everywhere. That's our idea. We want to bring it to you, to customers. Of course, we cannot restrict our customers to use any third-party middleware or engines to build their games. So we say, if you got used to any particular engine or tool, you can always connect it to your project and use it for building your cross-platform game. Either it's a 3D engine or it's physics like Box2D or chipmunk physics. That's okay as long as they are written in C++. That's absolutely fine. You can link them to your project. That's fine. And single platform approach has another advantage. It's fast, and it's almost always the fastest way your application can work. It's really fast. So we thought about that, and we came to the conclusion that we can compete for that performance. And we do it. If we can do it right, then there will no difference between single platform approach performance and multi-platform approach. And we did Marmalade SDK fast enough. So how did we do that? How can we get closer? How can we ensure that these two approaches can be equally straightforward and fast and easy? So we do that. First of all, we start with performance and ideas and concepts. What we create is the application binary. I don't know if many like specialists, technical specialists amongst you, I won't be telling details of that rocket science, but I just describe how we did that. We create a binary, so we compile it directly to native CPU instructions. This will eliminate any overhead from possible virtual machine. No virtual machine means no performance overhead. Like on a single platform approach, You get the binary, you provide it to your CPU, the CPU executes that binary, and you see a game on the screen. The same we do here. So we combine your application code, we combine the game code with some studio modules, with middlewares basically, and with standard libraries. We link them together in one single chunk of data, compile it to native CPU instructions, and get that binary. Of course, we care of the size, so we strip off unused functions, and this means that there is no application bloating. And the application binary, it's so good that we can use the same binary across different devices. So imagine, you know that iOS devices, iPhones, Androids, smart TVs, maybe set-top boxes, they are different, right? They do not even look like each other. They're different, but they all run the same binary. We do not recompile it to deploy to, so imagine the like same executable file, same binary is run on iOS and Android and smart TV. That's what we do. That's our know-how. And to run that binary, we had to invent loader. So the binary itself is absolutely platform independent. It doesn't care where it should be run. It's architecture dependent. Obviously, you cannot run ARM binary on x86 or MIPS binary on ARM. No, but it's platform independent. To run it properly, we had to create a loader which contains all the platform-dependent implementations. So you probably know that these operation systems, we are talking about mobile operation systems, they have different implementation for different functions, and they have different structures, different ideas behind them all. So we created a loader for each platform, which just loads that binary, provides it to the CPU, and runs it. And the binary asks normal, like common ordinary functions, and loader just provide them the functions. So we use dynamic linking on platforms like Android and Windows and smart TVs, and we use static linking on iOS because dynamic linking is strictly prohibited. And loader is that executable which allows you to run your package. Then how to combine that all into application package, into install package? We do it on deployment stage. This is a deployment, the third concept, very important. So you collect everything, you take a loader, link it to your binary, and add your assets, add your pictures, etc., music, and you get an IPA or APK or BBK or zip, zap, it doesn't matter. You get an archive, you sign it, and it's ready for submission. So what does that mean? It means that if you're good at these procedures, if you can replicate the packaging procedure for any particular platform, you can even build, deploy, sign, and build, sign, deploy, and run your APK, your IPA on Windows. So you can deploy to iPhone from Windows. That's what we did also. It's not that difficult, really. You can try, and no one just tries to do that. That's a simple zip package. The biggest problem, of course, is signing, but you can port signer, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, in Beily, you can deploy from Windows to iPhone. You can develop from Windows on iPhone. That's how deployment. And so how it works, how it all works, that's a quite big scheme. You create a project, you use your preferred ID, you develop either in VI like a Pro and compile it from command line, or it can be Visual Studio on Windows or Xcode. Then you compile it, then you get a simple binary, you test it on desktop simulator, you deploy it to the device. The scheme is pretty same as a single platform approach. So on single platform approach, you get a native project, you use a native ID or the ID provided by your platform vendor, you compile it, of course, you get some binaries, and you deploy them to device or test them on the simulator. Actually, absolutely no difference with that. And to confirm that, I can show you the example workflow. So artists work in their preferred tools like Maya, 3D Studio Max, or Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop, anything of those. Developers use their favorite IDs like Xcode or Visual Studio. Designers test their own simulator and game design. I mean, so they build, they prototype, they create maps and other stuff. And it all comes to a Beily project which can be easily version controlled, just like on a single platform. It can be easily version controlled because you don't have any super pooper binaries or other stuff in your project. You have CPPs, you have M files, if it's Objective-C, you have Lua files, you just have source files, and you have text files that describe your project. No hashes, no a big deal to work in a team of 6, 10, or 20 people on a single project, just like on a single platform approach. Then you build and deploy it. Okay, you say, that's good, but you can create a game from scratch on C++, that's absolutely fine, but C++ is a kind of complicated thing, we don't like it, we do prefer something easier or like more up-to-date, if we can say it that way. Let's assume you have a project already, and it's single platform project for iOS. So what are you gonna do when you decide to go cross-platform? Rewrite your code, and what then? Maintain that code for different platforms, update on one platform, and then update for another platform? Well, you can do that if you are Rovio. You can do that. They did that for their Angry Birds, and that's what fine. But you can also convert your project with a tool like Beily Juice to other project, not changing the code. So you have Objective-C code. You can open the Xcode project in Xcode, deploy to simulator or to the device, but you apply some sort of script that just converts it to another type of a project with the same code. You open it in the same IDE, you do same things to update your game, but now you can compile it for Android. Just compile it for Android. So what we do, the idea behind that is very simple. You just need to compile Objective-C with Clang. It's a front end. You need to, it can easily work with a C++, C, and Objective-C. So no problem of going iOS game to Android, but as always, devil in detail. You have to provide Objective-C runtime to your game. You have to provide Objective-C components like foundation classes, like UI key and all this stuff. So it's a hell lot of job to do. Okay, and so you can just easily convert your project with Mumbly Juice, and that means that you develop easily, in common way for a single platform, then you convert it and you go multi-platform, which is good. How it works, then you ask, and as you can see, we just replaced that black block with our two blue blocks. That simple. So we provide our implementations for iOS frameworks, and we provide Objective-C runtime, and we allow you to add new code for new features, and we take out the iOS static libs and features from the original package, but the code itself remains unchanged. All iOS frameworks imports, everything. So, well, you say, that's good. Once again, you say, that's good, but it brings some overhead. You develop a single platform, and then you have to do some actions to make cross-platform. Isn't it an overhead? Yes, it is. It's an overhead. And in that case, what if I say that there is another project that brings no overhead? You develop from scratch. Sorry. You develop from scratch, and then in Lua, which is quite a simple language, scripting language, but who cares? It's no need to use complicated C++ or Objective-C. You create in Lua, you get 2D graphics, you get physics, you get sound, you get everything you need. You also get Beily modules. You can easily embed in-app purchase into your game, and then you get Zero Brain IDE, which is an IDE that you can get for single platform. So everything is the same, but you just go cross-platform from scratch. It's quite easy. You get it for free with any sort of license, and you get IDE, you get all the tools, so you can easily prototype your game or even create a new game, like we deal with our Signal to the Stars game, which is quite a simple puzzle game, and it was created by 2 people in 2 months from scratch, with all the animation sounds, with all the graphics, and with everything. We rely on our Beily models, which are cross-platform. As you can see, we release it simultaneously for 4 platforms, which were App Store, iOS App Store, Google Play, Amazon App Store, and BlackBerry World. And it's really great. Yeah, I can show you after this presentation. So no difference between these approaches. We try to say that you can earn more with the same effort. This is great. And of course, if you have a very rich partner ecosystem, you can connect your game to Photon MMO RPG servers. You can use any sort of physics, and you can use push notifications from Pushwoosh or advertising, mobile advertising, everything, just everything you have in the great partner network. So that should be absolutely fine to go cross-platform. And just take a look at those titles that we made with our tools. I was trying to describe to you last 30 minutes. Among them, you can find Cut the Rope, you can find electronic arts games, you can find Draw Thumbs, and something that was the most successful project for us, but where it is now. It took top 8, top grossing, and top 3 first places, and it was great. You can see Electronic Arts Monopoly. You can see Pro Evolution Soccer from Konami and other stuff. So it's all made with Marmalade, and it's just great. You can easily, the same easy way you can go cross-platform as you go single-platform. Thank you all. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer you.
Everything you have said could be applied to the technology called Qt. Probably you have heard of it. And what are the pros and cons in comparing those two technologies?
Yeah, I always love questions about comparison of our product to other products. Yeah, so the main difference between Marmalade and Qt is that Marmalade relies on standard libs, on standard code and POSIX compliant, 100% POSIX compliant. So if we take a look at Windows platform, you probably don't have POSIX thread on that, right? Or if it's Tizen, where POSIX thread are technically present, but de facto they don't work, we provide POSIX thread to customers. So if you take any standard code from GitHub, it's not Qt oriented. It's just a standard code that relies on stdc++, that relies on POSIX standards and relies on OpenGL. It will just work on Marmalade. So that's the technical idea behind that. It will just work with, sometimes I bring to conferences masterclass, and one of the reasons was I took Quake 2 source code from GitHub, which is publicly released by Tom Carmack, by ID Software, a long time ago. It's in C, and with almost no changes, I ran it on iPad. I just got it compiled by Marmalade. Can you do that with Qt? Well, not really. Qt is good. It's really good. By the way, we use Qt for creating our Marmalade hub for cross-platform solutions. But for gaming industry, for creating rich games for mobiles, it's not widely used because Qt relies on Qt.
Yes, but it's the whole environment, and it's complete. You can write code truly, I think it's the same as the Marmalade code once, and without changing any code, the IDE Qt creator can deploy it to any device.
Yeah, that's true.
It has to be compiled as many different architectures you have, but you don't have to change any line of code. For now, the last years was the latest version is very important for Qt because it enables to deploying to iOS and Android, and there's Windows Phone also technical preview.
Yeah, I saw that. I know that. That's cool. But as I said, Qt relies on Qt library. So if you create your game from scratch in Qt, you can easily deploy it to iOS, to Android, to Windows Phone, as well as desktops, which is great. But our biggest advantage, that it's a lot more scalable. You can, to be honest, we have friends in America and in Unreal Engine, and 2 years ago, I think, our friend, they were able to run Unreal Engine over Marmalade. You cannot run Unreal Engine over Qt. Sorry. If you create a game from scratch in Qt, that's great. There is no difference. If you create a game from scratch in Qt and in Marmalade, there is no difference. But if you want to make it more scalable, if you want to take third-party libs based on standards and link them to project, you might have you may come across problems with Qt, but that will work on Marmalade. Okay. Then thank you all for coming.